That countdown is just like, I don't even know. I like it, but it's funny. I don't know. But hello, everybody. How's it going? It is Thursday, August 11th. We are here to celebrate Daniel's eviction party. So I'm very excited. I hope you are. Let's jump right in. God, that theme song just, it slaps. I love it. I love it so much. Everybody, I am John Dunphy. I'm joined by my festy bestie, the last night of the twist, Gino Morgino. Sadly, we are without our third, Kyle Petty. He couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately, so we'll be soldiering on without him. But yeah, we're here tonight. We're going to be recapping episodes 14, episodes 15 of BB24. We'll be celebrating Daniel's eviction. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. If you want to find us on the socials, you can find us at BB Jury Duty. That's on Instagram and on Twitter. You can also find us on our fancy website. Thank you, Kyle. www.bbjuryduty.com. All right, so now that all that stuff is out of the way,
also just a brief disclaimer that if my face does a thing, it is because the podcast is here and the live feed wall comp is right here. So if I start panicking, it's because something happens.
Okay, so if your face does a thing, we will know that something happened. All right, very good. Well, we got a little comment here from Matt. Happy Daniel eviction party, you freshly baked apple pies. Thank you so much, Matt.
I look forward to that every Thursday.
I know. Thank you, Matt. We really appreciate your comments. Wow. I actually woke up this morning and the first thought that I had was, oh my God, Daniel goes home today.
It was a great day right from the jump.
Yeah, it was the very first thing I thought about. But all right, I guess we should briefly kind of run through what happened on last night's episode, right? So Michael was HOH. We had our veto comp, which of course was the classic OTEV. What did you think of this iteration, the singing stage roach?
See, everyone had something to say about it. I think stage roach as a festival iteration is very funny.
Right.
Like,
I thought it was good.
I got a good laugh at it because, like, stage roach, stage coach, ha ha ha, very funny. I liked it. I know not everybody liked it. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it was all right. I liked it. Wasn't my favorite, but it was okay. And it's always fun to see OTEV, however they do it.
Right.
So.
Just the one thing, and I think I said this before the episode aired. I think I said this on Monday night. I don't like OTEV being part of the bestie twist because, like, in theory, one person falls off and then their bestie wins. What if one of them wants to use it, one of them doesn't? You didn't earn it. You lost the competition. It's not like when they play in pairs and the pair wins the competition. One person lost and one person won. That person that won should be the only one that's allowed to have a say in whether or not the veto gets used. So I don't like having OTEV in this circumstance.
I agree. It is weird that, like, you didn't even win. Like, somebody else happened to win. You happen to be paired with them. Now you get a veto out of it.
Right. And, like, let's say it's one of the bestie pairs that's insulated. So, like, one person is in the leftovers, the other is not. One person wants to use it to take down the nominees. One person wants to use it to keep Monty on the block. You shouldn't get to, I don't know. I don't like that.
Right. No, I hear you. I'm on board with you. So, the competition was fun to watch, but we ended up at the end, right, with Michael and Terrence up there. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because before the competition, Daniel and Terrence were going very hard on this idea because, of course, Michael's initial nominees were Monty, Joseph, and Terrence. And Terrence and Daniel had this bright idea. They wanted to keep noms the same. And this would include Terrence, hopefully, what they really wanted was Daniel to be picked for veto and then win it. When that didn't happen, they were throwing all their eggs in the basket that Michael would win, keep noms the same, and get Monty out. So what did you think of this whole scramble that they were trying to pull?
See, again, I wasn't very cute into feeds this week, so I don't know if I'm correct in what I'm about to say, but I feel like that was just like fancy editing to make it look like Michael was considering it. I don't think Michael was ever really considering it.
I agree. I don't think he ever was either.
Like, I think that was all just like the DR trying to like cause drama for the episode or whatever. But it seemed to me that like Michael was kind of yesing everybody to death. And then as soon as they left, he was like, I'm not going to like get Monty out right now. I need those numbers. That's stupid. I don't think he ever was genuinely thinking about it.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like I was thrown off more by the live feeds and BB Twitter, because I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, is Michael actually going to entertain this? Is he really going to like go along and get Monty out and side with Daniel and Terrence and all this? But based on last night's edit, the way they were all in Michael's HOH room, like kind of laughing about the whole thing.
Right. And that's kind of what we were seeing all week from the bits and pieces that I was cued into.
Right. Oh boy. But anyway, after the whole veto played out, Michael took it, which means that Brittany and Michael hold the veto again.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and it's awesome to watch Michael do this. It really is.
It is, but I'm stressed out about it.
Yeah, me too. I really am. And he said it this week too. He's like, I really should stop winning all these competitions.
Right.
But do you think that damage has been done already? You know what I mean? 4 veto wins. And
he hasn't been holding back.
Yeah, it's 4 out of 4 for him. It seems like everything he plays in, he wins. If he's not picked,
right, that's the thing. The only veto that he didn't win is the one he wasn't playing.
Right. Yeah, I'm nervous that, that the target's already there and it's already too big on him, because now it's hard to like just kind of sink into the background. Now there's people leaving.
And it's been surprising to me that more people haven't been talking about it the entire time. Like, you don't really hear Michael's name being brought up in a lot of conversations on the feeds, but I do feel like that's just because there were so many bigger targets that it was like imperative to get out, that now once those targets are gone, there's really no one else to look at. Like, yeah, Monty is quote unquote a big threat. Monty hasn't really won much of anything.
Yeah.
Like Michael's winning left and right.
Yeah. And I think that even just like holding back on 1 comp or 2 would have been okay, because I think I remember, was it last week that Michael had already won 3 vetoes, and Daniel was saying that Michael was like a floater. It was like just this week when he won HOH and veto, it seems like people really kind of woke up to the fact
no
that
one was
Michael
really paying attention before. It was so strange.
Yeah. But listen, I love this run. I think it's incredibly impressive. So I want him to be safe, but like it's been awesome to watch him win all these comps. So
of course.
But so we had our veto ceremony. Brittany and Michael chose to use the veto. They took down Monty, Terrence, and Joseph, and they replaced them with Daniel and Kyle.
I just have to say, it was so delicious to watch Michael put up Daniel with the exact words that he had used to put Taylor up in his HOH week.
I know. There's been it's so funny, with how rocky this season started, how negative everything was, how down everything was. It feels like we have had just some great weeks now. It's the way that this game has flipped, oh god, everything's it's wonderful.
It truly went from one of the worst seasons I've ever seen to one of the best seasons I've ever seen overnight.
I know. When I saw somebody put up on Twitter earlier, the boot order, and just seeing Paloma, Pooch, Amira, Nicole, Daniel, this is the dream order to go out.
I saw people saying it earlier today too, and I agree. Last season had a really nice boot order also. We were getting rid of the people that we didn't like, but it also was a piece to a much bigger puzzle. There were a number of reasons why that was an exciting pre-jury, because we were seeing the cookout making it to 6, and it was exciting for that reason. This season, it's just exciting because all of the people we don't like are going home, point blank, period. There is no bigger picture. It's just
right.
I don't like them, so they're ooh, I think we have an HOH.
No way. Oh, I think I'm behind. I'm behind.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to say anything. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
If you see it, we'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm behind a little bit, I think.
Okay.
All right. But anyway, okay. So that was really Wednesday's episode, right? We had, our initial noms, we had the veto comp, we had our renoms. Anything else from Wednesday night's episode that really stuck out to you? Before we
I got a very good laugh watching Turner being Jasmine in the DRs.
Oh yes.
Like that was he hates her so much. And
Yeah.
it's very funny.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed that as well. So I guess since we're at the point where we're kind of done with Wednesday's episode and we'll move into tonight's episode, tonight's eviction episode, why don't we do our Julie judgment? It's Kyle's not here. But,
I know.
but
So we don't get bong, 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 bong,
I know. So hold on, I got to make sure I do it right. So we're going into Julie judgment. Oh God, let me get rid of that caption.
Bong, 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 bong.
Bonk, 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 bonk. All right, Kyle's here in spirit. So it's time for Julie judgment. We are going to judge Julie's attire here. This is from her Instagram, I believe, that we got this from. What do you think?
I wouldn't give it a hot. I give it a cute. It's very cute.
Okay, we got another pose here too. It's kind of, hand on the hair there.
I do like it. It's one of the better ones, but it's not. I don't know.
I agree. I agree. I think this is definitely like. I would probably put this in the top 3 though, because we've had some not so good ones.
Yeah, no, we've had some bad ones.
like the purple on premiere night that still takes the cake.
I think that's what's tainting my judgment for the rest of the season is all I have in my head is the purple. So I can't in good conscience, nothing else is a hot,
Right.
I think I just in my head have to take that out of the running. That
was this was last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that.
I think this. So actually, we have. So this was premiere night. I think this is my number 1, right?
Right. Nothing's beating that.
Right. And then this, I think, would be my number 2, honestly, from last week.
Okay.
And then I think tonight is number 3 for me.
I support that.
Yeah, you down?
I support it.
But all right. So as we got into this episode tonight, one of the first things that Julie said, which was music to my ears, is that the festy bestie twist was coming to an end.
Thank
was so
God.
excited to hear this.
I'm so over the stupid festy besties.
I know. I'm so over it. I was definitely not thrilled when Julie then told us we were getting another twist, but we can get into that.
As she said it, I audibly went, "Oh no!" It's like, how are we gonna ruin the season now?
Yeah. God. Oh man. But yeah, we can get into this new twist in a little bit. But I really enjoyed at the start of this episode is like the leftovers kind of just totally talking trash about the other side of the house.
Of course.
Michael being like obviously they're working together. All 5 of them came up here and said the exact same thing to me.
And that's where it's like the other side of the house thinks they're so slick, and like a lot of them think they're really great gamers, but they're so bad at the game. Like, how do you in no way, shape, or form think, oh, this might paint us as a group? Like, maybe there's other ways that you can go up and pitch this in a way that doesn't seem like you're going in one by one and saying, this is what we all want. Thank you. You're not a part of this group, obviously, but like we all say this, so do this. Yeah.
They're just so sloppy. And like, I've gotten so tired of Daniel constantly being like, these people don't know how to play the game. It's like, you have been getting blindsided week after week. All of your allies are leaving. Like,
you are the reason you sent home your number 2. You did that.
Like you have been on the wrong side every week, literally every week, because even though Paloma wasn't evicted, like she's self-evicted, like that was a disaster. And that was like, you still won't stop talking about Paloma. Like even tonight.
Can we talk about that for a second? Why is he so obsessed with Paloma? That girl does not care about him even a little bit. We saw on the live feeds her talking about wanting to target him and get him out of the game. Like he was like public enemy number 2 right behind Taylor. Why do you think that she was so loyal to you and that you love her so? Like, it's creepy.
It's very weird. It's honestly very, very weird. But hey, he can't wait to hang out with Nicole and Paloma.
Have fun.
Sounds like a miserable group of people. We had another comment here from Matt. Thank you, Matt. It says, I'm more glad I won't have to hear the phrase festy besties than the actual twist. And
it's terrible.
I'm on board with that. I support it.
It's terrible.
The worst part is that they were probably sitting there coming up with this game in production, thinking everyone's gonna love this. They're gonna love this stuff. It's like, just give us the game. Like, just let us see them play the game.
Right.
Please.
Like, I don't want 1,000 twists to like shake things up. They usually end up shaking things up in a way that the viewers don't want. Like, it always ends up taking the people that we want to win and screwing them. So just don't give me twists. Let them play the stupid game.
Yes, I totally agree. Oh man, what did you think? So we've gotten 2 Muffingate segments. What did you think of Cidergate?
Cidergate. Alyssa. Poor, sweet Alyssa. Someone help this girl. Like, I was watching her like running around like, it's fine. I'll just have like this one little sip of cider. She's like drunk off her ass, running around like, no, I don't know. I asked him and he handed it to me himself. Like, he told me, like, you're not even a little bit slick. Like, what's happening to you right now?
I think it was Turner in one of his DRs was like onto it right away. It was like,
which again, they gave us a moment. I think it was during this segment of Turner looking directly at the camera, a la The Office. Like, like something's happening right now.
Yes, it was as he was like walking out of the bathroom. Oh, that was so good.
It's just like I mean, I feel like the season as a whole, but this episode in particular is really giving Alyssa a clown edit. Like, this poor girl is gonna be so embarrassed.
Absolutely, but. Hey, I don't know what to tell you, Alyssa. You're a mess.
It was also so funny because like we were seeing Indy, like Jasmine running around, who ate my muffin? Like, fine, it's your muffin. Something about Indy running around being like, who drank Michael's cider? I was like, what is happening right now?
I know.
Why do you have any stake in this?
It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. Oh, speaking though, I actually forgot. Did we talk at all about Jasmine hiding on the floor next to the couch?
Oh, God, we didn't. I don't know if you and Kyle did. We did not.
No, we don't even have to talk. It's so dumb.
But it was so funny on the feeds because like you could see like she literally had her microphone in her hand, like she was an announcer for like something, like she was one of those like wildlife TV show like announcers, like, and now somebody is approaching the muffin. Let's see if anything happens. And she's like behind the couch, and they're all like, "Why is Jasmine sitting?" Like they all clocked her, and they're like, "Why is she just sitting there? Like, what's going on?"
And I'm pretty sure it was Monty that walked by and was just like, what are you doing?
Because what were you doing? What are you doing? It's a muffin. It'll be fine. There will be more muffins.
Yeah. Oh, God. But, all right. The next thing that I have on my list here of things is this little segment with Kyle. Now, it started in the HOH room with him alone being like, I don't know what to do. He's like, I'm back with the leftovers because Alyssa and the rest of the house is, it was just so sloppy with trying to get Monty out and this and that. And that like led into them like kind of like hanging out in one of the bedrooms together, and Kyle saying that he wanted some distance and all that. Like, what have you seen though on the feed? Like, have you seen anything on the feeds like with this? Like, are they actually keeping distance at this point now, or like, or were they earlier in the week?
I haven't been super cute into feeds this week, so I really don't have a lot of insight on that. But the one thing that I do want to bring up is that specifically that cam talk of him in the HOH room, it was very much Kyle saying, I don't understand why the house is deciding they want to target Monty. That's such a stupid move. Why are they doing this? But it was very much Kyle that came up with the plan of, there's a Cookout 2.0. We have to target that side of the house. We have to get Monty out. Monty's a huge competitor. Kyle is the reason why everybody was targeting Monty. He wasn't just on the side of the house of wanting to vote him out. It was his idea. Yeah. So the fact that not only in his cam talk is he like, I don't know why they're doing this, but the edit is also painting it as if Kyle wasn't a part of it is very confusing, because I felt like I was going crazy. And then like I immediately opened up BB Twitter and they were like, no, that was Kyle's plan. Very much Kyle's plan.
Right. It's so funny because, and I feel like this was the same night that we were saying like, oh, Kyle and Alyssa showmance, that's not going to happen. I feel like it was like the same night that we were talking about how like we really didn't like Kyle when the season started, but we were starting to warm up. I feel like if I could make like a graph of how I felt about Kyle, it would start with like just all the way at the bottom, a really sharp curve right up, and then all the way back down again to the bottom. Because like, what the hell are you doing, man? And then I also like, it was really annoying to me, honestly, that like, I've really enjoyed the Leftover Alliance as a whole. And it was I thought it was good this week to actually see them say it. Monty, Joseph, and Turner saying, we'll go on the block. It'll be good for the alliance, to put it up there. We'll have more players in the veto comp. We don't want Taylor sitting up there. So it was just like very annoying to me when clearly that Daniel was the target, that Kyle was like so like afraid of the idea of like possibly going up as a pawn.
Since the leftovers started, he was so convinced that he was on the bottom of the alliance, and there was nothing that anybody could say that was going to convince him that he would be safe if he went up on the block. Even if like the target very clearly was Daniel, there was still a piece of him that was like, no, they're going to turn on me. I'm the bottom of this alliance. They're going to cut me first. So even though it clearly makes sense that Daniel is the one that they want out, there was still a piece in the back of his mind that didn't trust that he wasn't going. So he was going to say anything to not be put up on the block.
Right. And I guess I'm sure it had something to do with the showmans also thinking like, because, I wonder if, let's say the showmans hadn't happened, like he might have been a little more comfortable going up. But
well yeah, because that's the thing too, is that he's been really vocal about the fact that he believes that being in a showmance is going to put a target on him and it's going to make it harder for him to progress in the game, which is interesting because I feel like more often than not, we see the showmance going really far in the game. Like we always see at least half of the showmance in the final two. Sometimes the showmance is the final two. Like we see showmances go really far in the game all the time. So I don't know why he's kind of decided that that's going to put a big target on him. I don't really understand his thinking.
Well, it's funny because like there's been a couple of points in this season where like I know that Daniel has been saying that he's this big super fan and he's been trying to get on the show for 10 years. Mm-hmm. But there's a part of me that feels like he's never actually watched the show.
Someone tweeted earlier, and it sums up my feelings on Daniel perfectly. He watched every season of the show and retained nothing but everybody's famous DR lines that he could then regurgitate when he was in the DR. Like he didn't actually learn anything about the game.
Yeah. There were two things, and they're actually both from the same season. He was having a conversation with Terrence a couple weeks ago, being like, Terrence, you broke the old person curse. You've made it further than like anybody. Meanwhile, Cliff was in the Final Four like 3 years ago.
Right.
Okay, that's number one. And then him telling Kyle, the showmances, they never make it far. They never get far. Meanwhile, in the same season that Cliff was on,
the showmance was the final two.
The showmance finished first and second. Like this was like 3 years ago, dude. Like,
but it's even then, like I'm trying to think. There was no showmance last season, right? Yeah, there was no showmance last season. There was no real showmance in 22. 21 was that season. 20, the showmance made it to Final Four. Tyler made it to Final Two. Like it happens all the time.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's very strange, but whatever. So this actually then led into Daniel and Alyssa and their talk. And Daniel saying that he was going to feed this information to Alyssa and be like, yeah, if I didn't use that veto, Kyle wasn't going to save you. What did you think of this conversation? Because I have seen a little bit on BB Twitter about Alyssa kind of like saying things about Kyle, like, oh, he's giving me the ick or whatever. And like, now, has this started, do you think, since this conversation with Daniel? Like, has this turned and made her maybe not feel the same way about Kyle? Or is it totally unrelated?
I don't know when that conversation happened, so it's hard to say. It feels like the moment that Kyle was into her, she had the ick. Like, it felt like it happened, like, right after each other. And I don't know chronologically when this conversation happened. But it was so funny to me to watch it because, like, there was an argument to be made there. Like, yes, Kyle did consider cutting Alyssa. That was a conversation. But I don't know if it was just the editors editing it weird or like if this was a conversation. Because the way that Daniel was pitching it was like, yeah. And I brought it up and he like looked down at the floor for 5 seconds. And that's crazy because it should have been an immediate. No, he looked down for 5 seconds. And I was like, how is that your argument? Like he was actively talking about wanting to cut her, but you're telling Alyssa like, no, he looked down for 5 seconds.
Can you believe it?
Like as if that's like
seconds.
And she was sitting there being like, yeah, that really changes things. I was like, what is the matter with you people?
Everyone knows what 5 seconds means. Okay. We have a couple of comments here from our friend Warren. I think we should pull them up. So one was, we were talking about the cider and the muffins. Warren says, everything food, drink related segment this season has been exhausting. And I totally agree.
What gets me is that like, It drives me crazy that the editors really love sound effects. So they'll always put in like little like boings and like whatever stupid thing. The mouth noises that they put in anytime there's a food related anything drives me up a freaking wall. If I never have to hear the slurping noises ever again, don't talk about food anymore. Stop.
Yeah. No, that's true. And Warren was also commenting here about Kevin from BB19 as an older player that
he made it to did he make it to 4?
I don't remember the exact standing he came
in,
but
far.
He made it very far, I remember.
I think he might have been 4.
It definitely could have been. It could have been. I think it was definitely, no matter what, I think it was definitely top 5. But I don't know if it was 4 or 3 or what. But we have another comment here from Matt, and I'm glad that you said this, Matt, because I had the same exact thought in that moment. Matt says, I cringed when Julie called Kyle Alyssa's boyfriend before her vote.
I didn't notice that.
I caught it. She was like, Julie made a comment. She was like, Alyssa isn't sure what she should do tonight, but will she vote against her boyfriend? It was like something like that. And it was
I did not notice that she said that. I hate that.
Yeah. I was like,
like, that's what I'm saying. They're giving Alyssa the clown edit because at one point she was like, I don't know, like, is our relationship even real? Like, I don't even know what to think. I was like, this boy just wants to hook up. Like, all he does is talk about his boners. Like, you're not in a relationship, baby. I'm so sorry.
God, has anyone like talked about boners this much in the history of the show? Like,
he literally acts like, and I get it, like, you're an ex-Mormon, you're discovering girls for the first time, whatever. He talks like he's an 8th grader. Like, he talks like somebody who just hit puberty for the first time and is like, uh-oh, I don't know how to deal with girls. Like, what is happening to this man? He's like, isn't he like 30?
Oh, I was going to say, like, because I feel like he acts and comes off as if he's like college sophomore.
Right. Let me check. Like, I don't remember how old he is.
But I feel like he's like 29 or something. Like, he's definitely an adult, like a grown man. Warren here says, Gina Marie language, I guess, about the boners.
Listen, he said it first. All right.
It's true.
Yeah,
I mean, we're just analyzing
Kyle's 29. Kyle is 29 years old.
So a grown man.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Kyle, for all the weirdness this season you've been giving us. But anyway, so we got some speeches before our eviction vote.
Sure did get some speeches.
Yeah, we got one speech. Kyle was just kind of like, yeah, great, cool, love you guys. What did you think of Daniel's speech?
See, what's really annoying about this speech is that if it was a player that we liked, it's an iconic speech. You know, like, he's going out like, all right, I'm going to expose all of the information that I have. You want to target Michael because he's winning competitions? True. You want to, like, it's stupid to have pulled Monty off the block because he's such a big competitor. There's truth to that. Like, there are pieces to that speech that is exactly what you want to see someone do on their way out. Like, cause chaos, stir shit up, and then dip. What was annoying about it is that it's not Daniel being a really good gamer. It's Daniel being petty and annoying and dumb, and we don't like him, so the speech doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And it just felt like more of like, oh, I know this game and you don't. Like, literally, you're about to walk out the door, and anyone that was working with you has been evicted before you,
right?
And you're still holding on to this idea that somehow you are better and
you're all clowns. You don't know how to play the game. Yeah,
right.
And it's like BB Twitter was buzzing talking about how, like, it just goes up with him, quote unquote, being a super fan. He's acting like Dr. Will. That's a Dr. Will move. Like, that is something that, like, there are BB legends who have gone out that way. Daniel is not one of them, but he's still going to make it like, look how great I am. And then even like, I don't know, like, there are ways where, like, that could be a game move to help, like, if you think that there's a battle back, or if you think that you're setting up your number 2 in the game. 1, his number 2 is already gone. 2, like, he's just doing it to be petty because he genuinely in his heart of hearts believes, I walk out that door and the season's over. It doesn't matter. It's stupid now. Like, I was the last thing holding the season together. Now it's boring. Like, he wasn't giving the speech as a really great game move. He was giving the speech as an asshole. You know? Right.
It's like the only reason that you were good is that people liked to hate you. The only reason. Right. Now, now we still have Taylor and her lays. We still have Joseph, you know, which, by the way, I kind of like. I know I've seen people saying like jailer as
Oh,
like
yes.
their combined. I don't like that.
You don't
like
like
it.
the showmance?
No, it's not that I don't like the showmance. I don't
You don't
like
like the
calling
name?
it jailer. Yeah, I just like because it sounds like the word jailer. I prefer Taylor.
Okay.
Taylor and Joseph. That's what I prefer.
Sure.
That's
See,
just
the other
my
thing is
opinion.
like, it's so funny because I think that like the fan base really wants it to be a legitimate showmance, but from my understanding, I don't know why they're trying to like feign a showmance to the other side of the house. They're trying to make it look like they're in a showmance when they're really not. I don't fully understand why. I don't know what the strategy is in that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I don't know if they're playing too hard. I don't know why you would want people to believe you're in a showmance when you're not. I don't know how that's helpful.
Right. Yeah, I don't really get that either. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. Now that Daniel's out of the house.
Right.
Because we don't have anything else to watch. So boring now. But all right, so we had our vote, and thank God Daniel was evicted 8-1. 8-1. The lone vote coming from Terrence.
Which like that happened, and I was like, why are you doing this? Are you like really that loyal to Daniel that like you needed to give him a sympathy vote? Like what? Why?
Do you think it could have maybe something to do? Because I guess Daniel did vote to keep Terrence, right? In that other vote, when Nicole voted Terrence out, I think Daniel voted for Terrence to stay. So not that it really mattered. Not that Daniel's vote mattered at all in that eviction, but like maybe that's why Terrence felt obligated to vote for Daniel. I don't know.
Which also, can we talk about Terrence for a second? Because we kind of breezed right past this. And like, I understand that in Terrence's eyes, his quote unquote side of the house, their plan was to keep nominations the same and get Monty out. And in order to do that, he wanted Michael to win the veto to pull him into this plan or whatever. But like, I get that we have more information than Terrence does, that like if the nominations did say the same, the person that would get voted out would probably be Terrence. But I don't know that I've ever seen someone, I mean, I don't want to say that because someone's going to pull up receipts and I'm going to look like an idiot. But like to see somebody who is actively on the block throw the veto is such a what? I don't know why you were so certain that that was going to work out in your favor. It didn't make any sense to me.
Could you imagine if Terrence had won that veto and then like, see, that's the thing. That's the thing with this bestie twist, and it wouldn't have mattered.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Joseph and Monty they would have had their vetoes anyway. So of course one of them would use it. But like, could you imagine a scenario where like Terrence wins the veto, doesn't use it, and then he gets voted out because of it?
I feel like that's definitely happened.
Right.
That's for sure happened. I can't pinpoint what season, but I've definitely seen that happen.
Yeah. But after Daniel's eviction, Julie informed us Festy Besties are over, and we have reached the milestone of jury. So hey, I mean, we got a lot of the bad seeds out early, which is great. But I guess we're still gonna have to see Indy, Alyssa, and Jasmine in there for the rest of the summer. So.
Fine.
We have another comment here from Matt. I had such high hopes for Terrence coming into the season, but he's just kind of there being blah.
Right. So I, because I am crazy, rank all of the house guests from like top to bottom of like, I don't know if it's necessarily it's kind of my boot order of like who I think is going to win versus who I think is going to be a bad player. And Terrence was my number 2. And I am so regretful of that pick because Terrence just doesn't bring anything to this game.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it before too. Like, you never see him in the DR. There were weeks where he was on the block and was never in the DR. Like, he just doesn't really contribute anything to this game.
Yeah. No, you're right. I thought I was going to like him coming in, but he's just given me, I feel like week after week, it's just given reasons to like either not care or not like him because like he's either doing nothing or he's like kind of joining in on like the Taylor bashing or
that. But also I saw something that BB Twitter was talking about. I don't know if it happened yesterday. I don't know the full details, but I saw it like from my understanding, feeds cut And then we were getting bits and pieces of retellings of the story, and feeds were cutting in between those because people didn't want us to see it. But I was seeing some kind of a situation where I guess Terrence was talking about people who are in abusive relationships.
I'm glad you're bringing this up because I did want to talk about this. So sorry to interrupt.
No. From my understanding, Terrence made some kind of a comment that people who are victims of abuse in relationships who stay in the relationship deserve it. And that was obviously not well received by anybody, but taken particularly personally by Brittany, who previously was in an abusive relationship. And I keep only seeing bits and pieces, so I don't know if even anybody knows like the full scope of what happened, and we're just getting like little clips of things that squeak through the cracks on the live feeds. But
I had been reading some of that as well, and I saw that it looked like at least some of the house guests kind of like approached Terrence to talk to him about it, and apparently his response was to like double down on it. That like that was his belief, that if you are in an abusive relationship, being abused, and you choose not to get out of it, or you can't find a way out of it, then somehow the abuse is your fault and you're the one to blame for it. That's what I was seeing.
Gross.
Which is just, I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. And I just, God, what a bad take. Come on, Terrence. Like, geez.
And even just like to double down on it after you're told that that's a bad take. Like, you would think that like if someone came up to you and was like, hey, as a person who is in that situation, like not that, like to still double down on it is so gross.
And from what I've been seeing, this kind of led some of the house guests, if everything on BB Twitter that we've been seeing is for real. It seems like everybody was in sort of agreement that Terrence should probably go, and Matt seems to agree also. He says here, Terrence got to go.
Yeah,
we agree. But I wonder how that's going to now be affected by this new twist that we're getting.
Oh, the new twist.
Yeah. I don't want to like break away because I feel like the Terrence conversation is a serious thing, but I'm curious because their plan now after this, from what I've been seeing on BB Twitter, is that people want Terrence to go. That was kind of like the choice everybody wants.
Is he the next target? I haven't really seen any talk.
I don't know anything for sure because I really haven't been watching the feeds that much. It's been like a crazy week, like you've said. But I feel like from what I was reading, it was Terrence making these comments, people, especially Brittany, being upset. House guests approaching Terrence, him not backing down, actually doubling down. And then kind of what I was seeing from there is that, people in the house were agreeing Terrence needs to go. But I don't know if 100% if that's, for sure. That's just what I was reading on BB Twitter. But with this new twist now, there's apparently, from what Julie is saying, there's going to be two simultaneous separate games going on in the house, which I guess would lead me to believe, there's going to be two HOHs. But also, that doesn't really make any sense to me either, because didn't we just watch?
And that's what I was confused about
the
too.
HOH comp.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to work. So, and she said 2 evictions, so it's a double eviction next week, and it's a 2-hour episode. But does that mean? Because it's a 2-hour episode, so you would think that's a normal double eviction. But if there's 2 simultaneous games of Big Brother being played at the same, I'm very confused.
Yeah.
I don't know what this
means. The way
means.
they explain this, because Julie also made a comment that like they're not even going to be interacting with each other. Like these 2 separate games, she was like, they won't even be interacting. Right, so is it now like 2
houses? I don't understand what's happening.
Right.
None of it, it sounds very confusing, and it sounds like I'm going to hate it.
Right. Like, how do you keep these people separated? Right. I don't understand that. It's not even like you could have all of them on one floor and everyone on the other floor.
Right. I'm
kitchen's
very
downstairs.
I'm very confused.
Like, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't get it. Sounds stupid. I wish that we just didn't have a twist. And you know what? The only other twist that there should be from here on out should have been if we get like a jury battle back or something. That was the only twist that I would have been interested in. This just sounds really messy and sloppy and stupid again. Just like the backstage pass that we feel like we didn't have any idea what was going on with that either. I just feel like it's so unnecessary.
It's so quintessential Big Brother because in every season until this one, we hate a majority alliance that steamrolls and runs the entire game. We hate that. This happens to be the one time that we are rooting for the majority alliance. And this is the one time that a twist is going to come in and probably break up the majority alliance. Where was this in season... Not 23. We love 23. Where was this in season 22? In season 21? In season... Like, where was this in all of the seasons where, like, one alliance just, like, steamrolls through the entire time and there's no way for the underdogs to gain any power? This is not the season to do this twist. This is the season where we like the majority alliance.
Right. Like, it's so annoying. I'm honestly, I'm so annoyed by this. Oh, man, I hate it. I hate it so much. I mean, I guess we'll have to see what happens. I still don't understand it, though. Like,
it doesn't... She gave us crumbs of information, and I can't make heads or tails of it. I don't understand.
Right, because the way that she explained it made it seem like there's going to be, like, 2 HOHs. There's going to be, 2 sets of nominees, 2 veto competitions. Like, she said there's 2 separate simultaneous games going on in there.
Winner of the HOH competition.
So I actually didn't even
is there another HOH? Oh, you do still not know?
No, because we were talking. I knew that I was behind. I started looking back at my laptop here. And then when I looked back, they had cut the feeds completely.
Oh, so you don't know.
And they're back in the house now, but I haven't been paying attention enough to, like, see if anybody's wearing a key around their neck.
I mean, unless there's going to be, like, another HOH competition coming. But, yeah, I don't know.
It's just weird, though.
I'm confused.
And, like, would Michael get to compete in that one?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, this is just very weird. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I guess we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to see. Okay. Did we talk about everything in the episodes? I feel like we've been kind of jumping around a lot.
I think we hit everything on the episode.
Okay. Now, we are not done. We have other things to talk about.
Oh, no.
But I just want to make sure that we, like, covered the episodes.
I think we did.
Okay. If anybody that's watching or listening feels that we haven't finished talking about the episodes, let us know in the comments if we forgot something. But we have some fun stuff to get into here. I think we'll start with our latest popularity poll, right? Should we do that? So
yes.
Should we pull up the one from last week first just to see?
Sure.
Okay, so this was last week. This was the last one. This wasn't last week. It was the last one that we did. So this was 724. This is what we're at. Not surprising. We are going to see some major changes from this, though.
Oh, yes. Oh,
yes. Okay, so let's pull it up. Let's do it. Here we go. All right, we got our evicted people. They're gone. Look at Turner. My God. Last poll, 16%. This poll, 93%. Jeez.
It is so wild to me, the change that the entire fan base has had on Turner. Like, we were so dead set against this man in the beginning. He was your first boot pick. Like, we hated Turner. And then he won HOH, and it completely flipped on its head. Like, there are so many people rooting for this man to win the season. It's crazy.
It's so wild. But I've been enjoying it. He makes me laugh a lot.
Oh, he cracks me up.
Yeah. Wow. So let's see here. Actually, the lowest 2 people in this poll. Well, let's go over the 2 highest. Now, you know what? Let's go over the 2 lowest first. We'll get them out of the way.
Okay.
We'll get them out of the way. So coming in at 2%, 2% favorability ratings, Indy and Daniel.
Which, again, I know we don't want to get into the highest yet, but, like, I just need to make a point that the same thing happened in this poll as happened in the last poll. The 2 people that like Daniel are the same, or the 2% of people that like Daniel is the same 2% that doesn't like Taylor. Like,
yeah,
you're really doubling down on that vote.
I got to tell you too, like, when I was watching as the votes were, like, coming in last night, I feel like it's just a troll. Somebody's trolling. Somebody is trolling
I
us.
went to check today to see who it was, and I didn't. It was already gone. It was too late.
See, it's just, man, I don't know. Maybe there's people actually like Daniel and dislike Taylor, but, like, it's funny to me because, like, Joseph got 100%.
Yeah.
Which, like,
I didn't even clock that. Damn.
Yeah, but, like, I would have thought that if anybody gets 100%, it's Taylor.
Right.
Personally.
I mean, Joseph's a pretty good choice, but it's wild to me that people still don't like Taylor.
Yeah, I agree. We have a comment here. Let's see what this is. Let's see what this comment is. Here we go. Just wish Turner went by his first name. We love Matt supremacy. Oh yeah, Matt. That's right. I always forget that his name is Matt. Actually,
in my head, his first name is Turner.
Right. I like Turner. I like the name Turner. You know. Oh my God. To get back to the graphic here, I'm just I'm clicking around.
I just kept hearing clicking and nothing changed, and I said, "Oh no."
Being an idiot. So is there anything on here though that like is surprising to you? I actually for some reason I really dislike Indy right now. I feel like she has displayed some very ugly behavior, but for some reason I just expected Jasmine to be lower than Indy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know. I don't really love Indy either, but I don't know why she's one of the lowest when there are people in the house who are much less favorable.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she's been getting like worse lately.
Oh, absolutely, but she's not the worst.
But I wonder, I do wonder if like the reason she's lower than Jasmine is because like I feel like they've been trying to give Jasmine like a funny edit, like all the Muffin Gate stuff and like
right, and that's what Kyle's been saying too, is like all of these little like DRs, her little quips, her you're looking better than whatever the hell, like it makes you endeared towards her. It makes you want to see her come in because you want to see what crazy things she's gonna say. Right. So even though she is a mean girl, Jasmine, like.
Yeah, and Indy doesn't get any of that stuff. So like she's just nasty.
You very rarely see Indy in the DR as well. Right.
You don't get the funny segments or the sound effects with her. You just get her being like, I want to throw this hot soup in somebody's face. And like, that's all you get from her. Let's see. What else? What are the changes? Look at that drop for Kyle. So last poll, Kyle was at 60% favorable. This time at 25%. Him and Monty kind of swapped, actually.
Yeah. And I think most of that is due to his paranoia about a Cookout 2.0, like, and being so vocal about it on the feeds.
Yeah, I agree. Are you at all surprised that Brittany's only at 79? I mean, it's still in the green range, but she did go up. She was at 61% in the last one, and 79% in this one. I just feel like. I just think Brittany's a lovely person. I don't think there's any reason to dislike her.
I agree she's a lovely person. I think the reason that people aren't totally sold on her is because, not that she's a sloppy player, but she gets really, really paranoid. And every time that there is some kind of a plan that they're hiding from the other side of the house, Brittany is always the one that makes me nervous, because she always feels like the one that's going to get paranoid and stressed out and either leak something she's not supposed to leak, or like confess something that she like. I don't know. There's something about her that always feels like she's a second away from like, oh God, I can't do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's just like sloppy gameplay. She's a lovely person, of course, but I think people are a little worried about her as a player.
Okay. I can see that. You know, it is interesting though. And again, like I feel like other weeks I've been watching the feeds like almost nonstop. But this week, it just hasn't been that sort of week. But I feel like I did see a couple of people, because I agree with you that she can be sloppy, Brittany. But I feel like this past week, it was like Kyle's turn, right? To be sloppy. And I feel like I saw like a few people out there on the BB Twitterverse saying that they felt like Brittany was one of the people that was like helping to hold the leftovers together this week. She was actually doing a good job of like talking to people and making sure that, the plan was still good. And I know that her and Michael did, briefly toy with the idea of like, do we go for a big shot, and Monty, not that they were ever really serious about it, but just maybe considering all options in a game.
Like it is something to consider. It is a good thing to consider. Like, even if you're not going to take it seriously, just like mull it over for a second,
Right. But I did see some of that out there, that people were saying that they felt Brittany did like a pretty good job this week. But I do think that she has been sloppy early in the game, the first 4 weeks. But maybe if she, maybe she's starting to settle in a little bit, that means maybe she'll be have some more smart game moves and stuff like that, and we'll see.
I do worry a little bit because while I was not a fan of the Bessie twist, I feel like Michael kind of kept her grounded a little bit, and I worry that if they're not playing as a duo, it might be a little easier for her to kind of go off the rails. And I don't want that to be the case, but I do worry that Michael was the one kind of keeping her level-headed.
Yeah. And I hadn't even really thought about it, but now that you say that, I'd be a little worried about Brittany if her and Michael were separated in these games. If we see some kind of thing here where there's 2 games going on and they're not allowed to interact with each other, and now Brittany's kind of on her own, how will she respond to that? That's interesting to watch. But so is that it for the ratings? Is there anything else that you have for the ratings here? What did Terrence do? How was he? Did he?
I think he stayed the same.
He stayed the same. I pressed both graphics and didn't see the number change. It was like, why isn't this working?
Which, I mean, I guess it depends on when the poll expired, because I'm a little surprised given what we were just talking about that he didn't dip a little bit, but maybe that happened afterwards.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. And we also don't know, we love everybody that's been voting in these polls, and we've been getting a lot of votes, and it's been really, really cool to watch. So thank you everybody that's voted, and I hope you continue to do so, because we love these polls.
It's so
we never did these polls. It's such like a fun, simple thing to do, and now we're obsessed with them, and we're going to keep doing them. So please keep voting. But it's just this whole thing with Terrence staying the same. I just it's so odd to me. I don't know.
It really depends on the timing.
I feel like I had something else to say about it, and I don't remember. I remember I was going to say, we don't know. As much as we love everybody that votes, we don't know how many people are watching the feeds. So
that's true.
That poll might go up, and the things that we were talking about tonight, and that we've seen on BB Twitter and that has been on the feeds
might not have been
Terrence,
seen. Yeah.
Half the people that voted might not have even had any idea. About that.
No, that's true. Which also, wait, I know something from the episode that we didn't talk about. We saw, I don't know if you caught this. Daniel left. They went back to the house to show like the brief aftermath before Julie started interviewing Daniel. And there was some kind of a weird something with Terrence and Taylor. Did you see that?
I did not. But I feel like I saw some, some chatter about it, but not sure.
Her energy was weird. She looked like she was pissed off, and she looked up at him, and there was some kind of a weird interaction, her being like, yep, sure, fine, whatever. And I don't know what was said that we missed, but there was some kind of a something. And I have no idea what it was, but I was very invested in trying to figure it out.
Interesting. Huh.
It would have had to have happened in the 3 seconds that we watched Daniel walk out the door and go to Julie. I don't know if it had something to do with Daniel whispering in his ear or something like that. I have no idea. But there was something that Taylor just felt really off. You would expect her to be a lot more happy to see Daniel go, and she just looked pissed, and I don't know what happened. Have you seen anything on Twitter? Because I've seen in a few places people talking about Daniel and Terrence kind of speaking to and about the women in just a weird way. I've heard some people. I've seen people saying things about Daniel making comments about Alyssa, I think, and I don't know, his weird obsession with Paloma, and I don't know. It's I feel that's been a season-wide thing. Yeah.
Okay. But I feel like I saw it in particular this week out there. So I was wondering if there was anything that happened, any comments that were made in this week, because I felt like I just all of a sudden I was seeing it one day
I mean, if there was anything new, I missed it. I've just heard the way that he's been talking about the women the whole season.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if anything in particular happened this week.
Alrighty. Well, the only other thing that I have for tonight, I wanted to just quickly check. We have a couple of Twitter polls going. We were asking people, what do you think of this new twist coming up? Julie says that we'll have 2 separate simultaneous games going on in the house, leading to a double eviction. Yay or nay? So far, nay has carried the vote. Nay has 60%. Right. Yeah. So that poll will still be up for another 22 hours. So if you haven't voted yet, Gina, go and vote.
Okay.
Anybody else that's
I don't know
watching,
why I'm
listening,
being singled out, but
go
fine.
vote. Well, because you're the only one here that I'm talking to. Kyle's not here. I would have called out Kyle too.
Sure.
And
Sure.
in our eviction poll this week, 78% of the people said they wanted Daniel out. What do you think about that? 78%. Kyle got 22% of the vote for people wanting to see him leave in our Twitter
Again,
poll.
I know Kyle was pissing off a lot of the live feeders this week, but what is it? 70 what?
78
78
to 22.
That feels like too low a number. Like, I feel like
Right.
we're not favoring Kyle. Yeah, a lot of people were saying, I don't really care who goes this week because even if Kyle goes, I'm happy about it. Sure, Daniel needed to go pre-jury. It was very imperative that Daniel was out pre-jury, especially for Taylor's game, but just in general, Daniel needed to go pre-jury. So I'm a little confused as to why that number was as low as it was. I would expect a lot higher.
I totally agree. I expected it to be like Daniel getting at least like 90% of the vote. That's honestly what I expected. But
like, of course, Kyle ruffled feathers. There are people that wanted Kyle out. Absolutely understand that. But I didn't think it would be enough to sway the vote that much.
Yeah. But all right. I think that's all I've got. You have anything else for the benefit of the community?
Just who won the HOH if we're interested.
Oh, you know what? I'm interested. Hold on. Give me one moment. All right. If you don't want to know who won the HOH, if you want to wait until the next episode, it's spoiler time. Bonk, 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 bonk.
Bonk, 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 bonk.
All right. Everybody should be gone now.
Okay.
Lay it on me.
So in a wonderful turn of events, we saw Miss Taylor take home the wall comp.
No way! Oh my god!
Which is also why I'm so pissed off about this twist, because if it screws up Taylor's HOH, I'm gonna be so annoyed about it. I'm so happy to see her win, but don't you dare ruin this for her.
I know, I totally agree, but I think it's still overwhelmingly, I'm just so happy because I'm especially glad that she's safe in a week where there's going to be a double elimination. Where there could
and that's
be
why
four people
I was
up
trying
there, like,
so hard not to show my face, but I just wanted to like yell the moment it happened, and I was like, no one else is watching feeds.
Oh my god. But no, this is great. And you know what? Even if it kind of screws things up, like let's say, you know, the leftovers have their first, you know, loss of the season or whatever. Like let's say that just happens this week. That's still like the worst case scenario, but we're still looking at that means a week where Taylor is safe and two other people are leaving before her. So when we literally were sitting here in the first few days of the season thinking this season's already over, it sucks, Taylor's going home, the only person we like is going home. That's what we thought in the first few days of this season. And now we're about to see Taylor be safe through the first
even
7 evictions.
Not even just be safe. There were so many people saying, because there's a lot of people that want Taylor to win the season, and there were a number of people.
Queen
what a wonderful
Queen Taylor
birthday
with
present.
delays. Yeah, tomorrow's my 30th birthday. Daniel leaving and Taylor's impending HOH is the greatest early present I could have asked for. Wow,
I'm
happy
so happy
birthday,
for
Matt.
you.
Yeah,
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
What was I saying? Oh, there have been so many people obviously wanting Taylor to win the season, but there are a lot of people that are saying, like, I can't in good conscience root for her to win the season if she hasn't done anything. So now not only is she safe, she has won power. She can make a move. She has something to add to her resume to give her a reason to be voted for. Like, this is just great for a number of reasons.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, yes. Oh my God. And wow. I'm so excited. And I tweeted earlier, I was like, Taylor, put on your game face.
Yeah. No, it came down to Taylor and Kyle were the last two up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, God. All right. I'm so happy. This is wow. Thank you for this.
Great note to end on.
Yeah, seriously. Well, yeah, I guess that's it, right, for tonight. What do we have coming up though? We'll be back Monday. Next Monday we'll be talking more BB24. We'll be talking about Sunday's episode.
We're talking about Taylor's HOH.
Taylor's HOH. Yeah, I guess maybe hopefully we'll find out more about this twist too, which wasn't happening.
I know.
But so hopefully we'll see some more of that. And then Wednesday night we'll be talking Challenge USA, episode 7 of that. And then Thursday night we'll be back here again. Monday night we're here 9:30. I just forgot I said the time. Forgot to say the times. Monday night 9:30, Wednesday 10:30, Thursday 10:30 for the BB24 eviction, double eviction apparently.
Yeah.
So.
Then we probably won't be here at 10:30. We'll probably be here later because it's a 2-hour.
Oh, that's right. Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's going to be a late night.
You're right. I didn't even think about that. All right, 11:30. Maybe 11:15. We'll see.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, for listening, for watching. If you want to find us, you can find us on the socials at BB Jury Duty. That's on Instagram and Twitter. Or you can find us on the website, www.bbjuryduty.com. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think
All
so.
right. Have a good night, everybody.